In my first week of the mission, so the word for hair and horse is almost the same, cabello, caballo. And I remember I asked my trainer how to say hair, and she told me the word for horse. And so for the whole first week of my mission, I was saying horse for hair and hair for horse. So that was interesting. Another thing that everyone makes mistakes with maybe is the prepositions, when to say el and when to say la. Yep. There were some others that thought they were pretty funny. They kept trying to teach me that it should be things like la idioma and el mano and things that aren't right. I didn't like it when we had to eat liver, but cow heart wasn't bad. I actually really enjoyed that. One time, one of my pensionistas tried to feed us alligator. I just didn't eat it. I almost died when I saw my first chicken foot in soup. They put the feet of the chicken in the soup. And a lot of Latins like that because they like to suck on the bones. One time I got put in an area, we got put in a trio twice, we got kicked out of our house, our pensionista moved on us, and just a bunch of things happened. Like I was telling you before, having my companion in the empty space was awesome. That was a spiritual blessing. Also, there are so many different things. Like, for example, in my last area, a lot of things happened. My grandpa died. I almost went home right before he died because he was dying, and it was really hard. And it's such a wonderful thing to be able to feel the strengthening power of the atonement and to see what it can do in your own life as well as in other people's lives. It was also really cool. We had a less active member that completely turned her life around, and she's still working on the endure to the end thing, but it was cool to be part of things like that. Seeing the change in people's lives is awesome. I honestly feel like as a missionary, you have the opportunity to feel the Spirit every single day, and it's awesome to get to a lesson and to feel the Spirit speaking through you as you speak to people, not knowing what the heck you're supposed to say as you're listening to their crazy stories, and then having the Spirit take over and seeing that it touches their hearts. And it's interesting the way that the Lord works, and He shows His love for each of us individually. One of the greatest blessings I think that I received on my mission is learning about what it means to love people. There was one lady that I taught for a while. Her name was Rosario. And I remember at this time I had just started training, and then I got 2 really bad ingrown toenails. And so wear good shoes, please. That was terrible. And learn how to cut your toenails right. Anyways, and I had to get them taken out, and I had 7 stitches in my toes, and I couldn't walk. And I remember in this time I was upset, which was also a cool experience because I got to feel the strengthening power of the atonement, especially in some painful moments. But so I was training at the time, so I sent my daughter out with other people, with members to go and teach, and then a less active lady, the same lady that I was telling you about, Rosario, she came and stayed with me for the week, pretty much. She came over a lot, and the way that the Lord works, and we could have a lot of gospel discussions. And I remember when I left that lady, oh my heavens, it hurt so bad. I bawled when I left the area, and then I bawled again when I left my mission after saying goodbye to her. It's so cool to get to experience the love that Heavenly Father has for His children. I think that's one of the biggest blessings a missionary can receive, is being able to feel Heavenly Father's love for all of His children, especially the ones that are struggling. I learned more about the importance of being healthy and about how to get through difficult situations without giving up, and the rewards that come from difficult situations. My favorite area that I ever had, I remember the first transfer I was there, I was praying so hard that I could leave. It was was hard. And after I left that area, after 4 transfers of being there, it was so hard. And that's such a good lesson to learn, that the most difficult things, when you really actually work through them, they turn into the most rewarding things, which is cool. I learned a lot about how to deal with questions, especially when they have to do with your testimony, how to overcome doubts and questions without, how to have questions without turning them into doubts. Maybe that's better said. Things like that. I don't know, there's so many things you learn as a missionary. If you have a funny companion, everything is funny. I was companions with Hermana Llanos from Argentina, and we laughed all day, every day. Everything was funny to us. I remember one time we had to do kiosks where we had a question, and as people walked by, we tried to get them to read the question and give them and take their reference or whatever. And she's so funny. We always had so much fun. And then we came back in the Trophy, and we only went like 3 blocks, and the people were like, "Why did you write a Trophy for that short of time?" And it's like, and like, just saying it now, it's not even that funny, but we laughed for days. I don't know. We laughed about everything. And we always played slug bug and bingo. It was fun. I loved her. She was my companion for the longest time. It was like the transfer of 8 weeks when they changed the mission president, and then we were together 6 more weeks after that. And we laughed all the time. It's great to laugh. Learn to laugh. My mission president said that we should just keep reading our scriptures, saying our prayers, and always, this isn't, one of my friends told me this. She said that always have your next temple trip planned. So whether you want to go every week and you have a set day, or like if you can't go every week, as long as you have the next temple trip planned, you'll always be going to the temple. There are so many things that happen every day, and there are so many little miracles that happen all the time. For example, we had a girl named Claudia that was getting baptized, and the day of her baptism, she was really upset because one of her friends didn't come to her baptism that she really wanted to come, who wasn't a member. And so she was really upset about that, to the point, I think, and like just getting baptized is a big deal. And so right before she went in, she was like, "I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this." And we were like, "We need to pray." So we all got on our knees, and then the baptism went great. And she bore a really powerful testimony afterwards, and she was awesome. And really, there are so many great experiences. That's an example of the power of prayer. As a missionary, the prayer should be your biggest tool. Because this is missionary work, really isn't our work. It's not about us. It's about the will of the Lord. And so we constantly need to be asking him what he wants, and then doing what we can do, acting.